Listen to me, people. I want you to sit down, open your ears, and hear me very clearly right now. Retirement is supposed to be the victory lap you've both worked your entire lives to achieve. But what happens when one of you crosses that finish line first, while the other is still waking up to an alarm clock every single morning? I see this happen all the time, and I am telling you, it is one of the biggest emotional and financial landmines facing couples today. When one spouse retires before the other, everything shifts. The money shifts, the routine shifts, and if you are not careful, the dynamic in your marriage can turn upside down real fast. So let's talk about what is really going on here. Why does this happen? Sometimes it's an age gap where one person reaches 65 while the other is only 58. Sometimes one person's job is so physically or mentally draining that they just cannot do it for one more day. Or maybe one spouse gets laid off or faces a health challenge, while the other still needs to work to keep the lights on and keep health insurance intact. Whatever the reason, here is the problem: going from a two-income household to a one-income household, or going from two people working to one person sitting at home, creates fear. And I know what you're afraid of. If you're the spouse who is still working, your fear is resentment. You're thinking, why do I have to wake up at 6 in the morning in the freezing cold while my partner is sipping coffee, reading the paper, and deciding whether to play golf or take a nap? You feel like the pack mule carrying the whole financial load while they get to live the dream life. And if you're the spouse who just retired, guess what? You're afraid too. You're afraid of losing your identity. For 40 years, when people asked who you were, you gave them your job title. Now who are you? You're sitting at home feeling guilty every time you spend $20 because you're no longer bringing a paycheck into the house. You feel dependent. You feel like you have to ask for permission to buy a pair of shoes. That is not financial freedom, my friends. That is a prison of your own making. So the big question you need to ask yourselves today is, how do we navigate this stagger without destroying our money or our marriage? Listen to me, you do it by standing in your truth and taking action right now. First, healthcare. If the retiring spouse is under age 65, they are not eligible for Medicare yet. Do not, and I mean do not, retire without a clear, solid plan for health insurance. If the working spouse has employer-sponsored health coverage, get the retiring partner on that policy immediately. Buying individual health insurance on the open market when you are in your late 50s or early 60s can eat up your retirement savings faster than you can blink. Second, Social Security strategy. Do not let the retired spouse rush out and claim Social Security at age 62 just because they stopped working. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. If you take Social Security at 62 instead of waiting for your full retirement age or age 70, you are permanently slashing your lifetime payout. If the retired partner was the primary breadwinner, taking early benefits also permanently reduces the survivor benefit that the remaining spouse will get if one of you passes away. Look at the big picture. Use the working spouse's income to cover daily expenses so the retired spouse can let their Social Security grow. Third, take advantage of the Spousal IRA. If one spouse is still working and earning income, but the other spouse is retired with zero earned income, the working spouse can fund an IRA for the non-working partner. That is called a Spousal IRA. You can keep building that nest egg tax-deferred or tax-free in a Roth IRA even while one of you is fully retired. Do not leave money on the table. Fourth, get real about household roles and fund money. You need to sit down at the kitchen table and write out 2 budgets, a household budget and an guilt-free personal allowance for each of you. If you are retired, you need your own allowance so you can enjoy your day without feeling guilty or needing to ask permission. And if you are the working spouse, you get the exact same allowance. Equality in respect, equality in dignity. And when it comes to the house, if one spouse is home all day while the other works 10 hours, you need to renegotiate daily responsibilities. The retired spouse shouldn't be expected to do everything like a hired servant, but they should step up on errands and household tasks so when the working spouse comes home, you both get to enjoy your evening together. Retirement isn't an event, it is a transition. Talk to each other, protect each other, plan your cash flow together, and put your family's security first. You work too hard to let poor planning take away your peace of mind. Be strong, stay smart, and stand in your power.